Welcome back to Where Potters Walk. Obviously joined by George, Carl, and Adam, and the late arrival. Bit of a special one this week. Obviously the season is finished. We've got a big summer coming up, so everything is going to be hopefully highlighted on this show today. And just get straight into it, George. Obviously. Big news: Victor Johansson signing the contract, Junior Shamadou signing the contract. What do you make of that? Obviously, great news.
Yeah, great start to the summer, mate. I think Victor Johansson, if he didn't get injured, one of the best keepers in the league, and he definitely is the best keeper in the league if he didn't get injured last season, and that's why we can see so much goals last season without Vic. Shamadou the same as well. I think if he didn't get injured, he'd be up there with the best right backs in the league, and he shows that what he can do. That goal versus Bristol, around every defender, got the pace, got the passing, and yeah, brilliant start to the summer getting those two signed a contract, and hopefully we can get some good players in the summer and get going that season.
Yeah, obviously, Adam. Big news, as I say, Vic signing. We were all a bit worried. I think the Oatcake mentioned Junior wasn't going to sign a new contract, but here we are going into a big summer with two key players signing. I mean, obviously, we're all delighted, and I'm sure you are yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the best piece of business the club will do all summer. I think we've talked all season about them two being the mainstays of the team and potentially the two that you want to build your new squad around. So yeah, all good news all round, really. I mean, the only thing, I suppose, it doesn't mean that they won't go. Of course, is Vic still open to an offer? Is there a clause in there that we don't know about that he goes off as a absolutely blistering World Cup and then offers come in for him? But naturally, that just secures the financial side of it for Stoke, even if that was to happen. So, yeah, it's good news. Can't complain at that at all. It's the one piece of news we can't actually moan about the club for once. So,
yeah, and Carl, as Adam's just said, obviously with Vic signing the contract and the World Cup coming up, I mean, do you see him staying until the 2030 of when we've got until, or do you see, and both Vic and Junior only staying for one more season and we get big money for him?
First of all, that video of Victor Johansson, I think he had us right off. They had everyone off. My mate said, "Quick, go on," and I saw it. I thought he's a goner. He's a goner. So credit where credit's due for the social media team for that.
Yeah.
I think we'll have them both for one more season, depending on what we do. If we can finish above 17th, it'd be nice. I'm not going in with any expectations this season. But I can, if we finish mid-table or outside the playoffs, they're both too good, aren't they, if we're being honest with you? I mean, especially Victor Johansson, the amount of other fan bases that we've wound up signing him has been unreal. They're all saying wasted. And I have to agree. He's wasted with us, isn't he? I mean, as a Stoke fan, we're going to take it all day. Same with Junior. I think Junior did need another season with us. I don't think he's Premier League ready yet, but Victor Johansson walks in a lot of Premier League clubs, in my opinion. He really does. I know he made that error last game of this season, but that's a bit of rust, isn't it? So, yeah, we won't have until 2030 when he signed, but all it does is put Stoke in the driving seat, doesn't it? It gives us room for me, give us a big offer for either of the players.
I mean, my opinion, as you just mentioned, the playoffs, we all know that the playoffs is being expanded next year. So it fills me with encouragement as well, knowing that we can build from them to hopefully secure a playoff spot. Now, I am going to do an open discussion on this one because I have seen all over X the potential of obviously Cresswell looking at signing another 1-year contract. Now, I will do, obviously, as I say, I'll do an open discussion on this because I can see a bit of a mixed review, maybe Adam having a bit of a rant at this one. But yeah, the floor is everyone's on this because I think, I mean, I don't know really what to say, but I'd let you guys go with that one.
For me, at the start of the season, I think he was unbelievable. And before we signed a really good left back here, and look, he had experience at West Ham a lot of times in the Premier League. But since the second half of the season, he's looked so poor. And it's just not seeing the player we were at the start of the season. Well, we can say that about everyone, to be honest with you, but Cresswell just looked so tired and just, especially that Wrexham game, what he was doing for that second goal was just beyond a joke. For me, I'm in the middle of him signing a contract or not. I mean, he could be a good backup for a left back next season, but going into next season, I wouldn't give him a contract. But many Stoke fans might give him a contract, but for me, I wouldn't give him a contract for next season.
I'll go opposite on it. I'll go a 1-year extension. I just think it's a smart move. I mean, Christ, how many extensions has Frankie Fielding had? I know he always brings it up, but come on. He's an experienced head. We've seen the good sides of Cresswell. We've seen the bad sides of Cresswell. I don't think that he'll be a player that will start every game. I think he's a good player for bringing on some of the younger players. He's an experienced head for the backroom staff for help them out. He's good probably for around the training pitch. I mean, he's been there and done it all, hasn't he? So he'll know the tricks of the trade. And I just think if we can give him like a 1-year extension, I don't think it's the worst bit of business. I wouldn't offer him anything beyond that, obviously, because he is aging and he has picked up a few knocks this season. But me, yeah, I'd go for the 1-year extension on that one. I think it'd be a smart piece of business.
Yeah, and I'll have to agree. I mean, Adam, I see you nodding with what Carl's got to say. Surely you're Cresswell in then, I'm guessing?
Yeah, there's far worse players, isn't there, at the club than Cresswell. I've been impressed by Bocat second half of the season, where Cresswell's probably fell off. Bocat's probably picked up. So if we're going along those lines, I'd have Bocat as my starting left back next season, and Cresswell's a steady pair of hands. 1-year contracts. We've seen what's happened this year with injuries, so keeping him to play, half a dozen games, games a season, isn't the worst thing in the world.
Yeah. Now on to obviously the outgoings. A big one being the Rolls-Royce Lewis Baker. Well, I mean, George, I've seen you commenting on this. We've been chatting behind the scenes. I mean, personally, I'm going to go. I would have loved to keep him another year, but he is 31 and he was out half of last season. Don't know what you make of that one.
I was still doing a contract anyway, mate. I think it's a shame he got injured in the season because he was unbelievable at the start of the season. He's been here for 5 years and he's got experience at the club. He got brought in under Michael Neal, so he's been under a lot of managers at the club and he knows the club well. So, and he's a really good player. You can see it. He's a really good player, but he's been affected this season by injuries. I can say about a lot of people have, but I'd definitely give him a contract, and I think he deserves a contract. And a lucky club in the Championship's going to pick him up, and he'll end up being brilliant for him. For me, definitely would have given him a contract, and it's a really shame to see him go to. I would say he's probably the best player bad in the Championship since he's got relegated, Lewis Baker. That's one to throw out there.
Carl, obviously, what George has said, give him another year. I think personally, I will obviously agree with George. I think we did also miss him, and a lot of people called for him last year to just steady that midfield, because we all know we had nothing in midfield. We were an inconsistent midfield. What must have changed about 10 times throughout the season. I mean, you've got to agree, we missed him. Cool, I think we did.
Yeah, it's a tough one with Lewis Baker. I mean, he is the only player in that midfield all season that had got that spark, that was creative, that wasn't scared to have a shot outside the box. He really wasn't. We missed him when he went. We missed him. Everybody was screaming for him. I just don't know where the club are on it. Is he that they didn't want to offer him a contract because he's 31 and he's had a bad injury? Have they got their eye on somebody else, somebody a bit younger? Because unfortunately, although I did like him towards the end of the season, you can't be relying on Seko. We can't be relying on Ego just yet. They are not our creative midfielders. They are no Lewis Baker. So I don't know what the club's thinking. It would have been a gamble to give him another contract extension, because I should imagine, coming from Chelsea, and we know he was one of the better players, he's probably asking for a lot of money. And at 31, it's a risk. Is it a risk I'd have taken? Probably, yeah. I would have taken it.
Yeah, I agree. Now, Adam, we've said the goodbyes and we've shed a tear. The Ninzonzi's time is done at Stoke. Looks like he could be done and retiring obviously a Rolls-Royce player in his prime, but just didn't get out of second gear this season. Really, he didn't want to do what he could. I mean, I don't know what your opinion on him is after this season. I'm sure I know you still love him, but I think after this season, it's a bit of a mixed emotion. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, well, I'm old enough to see him in his prime and watched him, and when Arnautovic and Bojan and Afellay and all those were getting the plaudits, and Zonzi was the engine driving everything behind them. But this season, let's be honest, he's hardly set the world alight. He's had moments, and he's probably got a little bit steadier as the season has gone on. But yeah, you're not going to build your team around a 37, come 38-year-old. I know he did an interview, didn't he, shortly before the end of the season, where he thought he wanted another season. He'd got another season in him. He always saw himself retiring at the end of next season. So whether that will happen and whether he gets another 12 months somewhere, we'll see. But yeah, I didn't want to see him actually fall apart at Stoke and be a liability at 38 years old. So time's right for me. And I think, just to offer a slightly different opinion on Baker as well, I think Baker's flattered in a really poor team for a really long time, just because he's scored a few worldies that's got us out of a lot of trouble. I agree with the sentiment that he is our most creative player. But if you look at the trend under every single manager's bigged him up when they've come in, and then he's found himself out of the team within half a dozen games of that new manager coming in. I don't know if there's more to it behind the scenes of him. Obviously, Schumacher shipped him out on loan, and that looked like the end, and then we offered him another deal. I suspect he wanted a longer deal, and that's why we've not triggered anything there. Maybe he didn't want a 1 year, 31. He's probably going to want to secure his future a little bit more than that, isn't he? At 31, he's probably wanting a minimum of a 2 year deal. So I suspect that's the reason. But I don't think he's the biggest loss if we get better players in. I just think he's been the best of a really, really bad midfield for a really long time.
Yeah, and just a quick one on Baker before we do move on. I think if you put him in another team in the Championship in the past 3 years, I think he would have graced the league and had potentially been up in the Premier League with a newly promoted side. So, it up as Stoke calendars, as Adam has shown it. So, but yeah, I think to be honest, Blackburn are crying out for him. They want him back. He seemed like they didn't want him to go. But yeah, it's the end of an era on that front. But we do move now on to strengthening that midfield with the two going. And I've seen a lot of links. But the one that seems to have a bit of movement to it is, I might butcher this, as Cole likes to butcher names as well. So we have been linked with Svante Ingelsson. If I don't know if I've said that right, apologise if not. Obviously, at Sheffield, very poor Sheffield Wednesday team last season, with a 6.4 rating all season. Obviously, Sofa Scores told me that, so I don't know. But George, what do you think? I mean,
the 2 games we play Sheffield Wednesday, he's been far their best player, and he's the only one I've seen be their best player. I think for me, if you want to strengthen the midfield, I think he's a very good player to have. And like I said a couple of weeks ago, he's a player when he plays got championship experience, who are decent in the league, and he's been there for a few seasons at Sheffield Wednesday now, and he's looked a really good player. And we've left Baker to go, so that position's opened up now for a new midfield, and I think it'll be a decent midfield to have. And yeah, it looks good, and see what happens with the deal and stuff. I'll get him in any day of the week. I'll get him in.
Yeah, I mean, I can't comment on it, but Carl, he has played 40 games for Sheffield Wednesday last season. He's 27 years old, so he's still got a bit left in him, 100%. And like I say, he was a 6.4 rating. I mean, I can't comment on what he was like, but I don't know if you know much about him, and what do you think of bringing someone like that in, who was in a very poor Sheffield Wednesday side?
First of all, at the age of 27, he's in his prime. Let's not write us older ones off. I couldn't tell you how old I am at the minute. I'm 37 or 38, so he's still got 10 years younger than me. I'm one or the other. Yeah, it's what we've been screaming for last season. Well, just gone. What were we saying? Championship ready players. Here's that. I can't comment. I can't say I watched a lot of him. Swedish, isn't he? Is he Swedish?
Yeah.
Victor Johansson links, perhaps. I don't know. I mean, look, can he be worse than? I hate rinsing the guy because he puts a shift in, but can he really be worse than what we've got? Can he be worse than Seko and co? He isn't a player that we're going to get in and we're going to have to nurture for a season, such as we've done with Rigo, and wait till next season. He's going to hit the ground running. He knows the league. He knows the physicality of it. So it makes sense if we can get him for a decent fee. Why not? Why not?
Yeah, I agree, and we've all been saying throughout the whole season the midfield is dire. I mean, Adam, like bringing him in, obviously, you know, we are walking liability with Pearson. We don't know what's going to happen with Pearson. Are we going to keep Pearson for another year? Can he possibly do a bit of business, them two in midfield together, and then potentially even Rigo's got another season under his belt? Can them two be a good pairing? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, look, it's smart by the club. Again, like the others, I can't say much about him. I thought he was their best player when we played him. That's all that I've seen of him. So, and you can't judge him on his time this season, really, can you? Because he's playing in a team of youngsters and misfits and whoever, you know, he's playing with kitmen and all sorts on the field, whoever they can actually get on the pitch. So, you know, you can't judge a player by what he's done at his club this season. But it goes off the basis of what I've been saying, you know, since January. We've got to stop taking gambles on foreign imports who are young, who aren't used to the league. We've got to bring in championship ready now players who know this league inside out. So, yeah, if it costs us, you know, a bag of beans, then, yeah, bring him in. It's no brainer.
Yeah. And then obviously following on from that's obviously one in. I mean, I've not seen anything of any more incomings, whether people in the comments can think in. I don't know if you guys have seen anything, but we know we're going to have a big summer. What positions, George, are you wanting? Who are you after? Who's the one player do you think we can bring in who's going to make a difference?
Well, I think it is going to be a busy summer, and I think I think a big rebuild needs to happen, and I think quite a few players do need to leave. I think we need to get rid of Manuf and Junner and get the money in for them and open up the gap in the right wing and the cam positions. I think those two positions need to be filled. And I know Smith's is signed, but I still will get another striker in with Smith, because Smith got bought in January and he didn't look the greatest, I'll be honest with you. It was a big gamble getting him, but I'd still get a backup right back. We said this last season, Shamu gets injured again, I'll still get a backup right back. And I'm glad Wilmot signed a contract, and I think a centre-back with him will be important. Can I see Felix coming back for another season? I can't anymore. I just can't see him coming back. But look, I love it if he's coming back. It'd be brilliant, but I just can't see it.
Yeah, well, it's looking like Spurs might stay up. So, you know, let's keep his fingers crossed. And following on from that call, obviously, George has mentioned Wilmot there. Obviously, absolutely vital, looking like a captain. And then another one, Smith. Obviously, that was announced a week back that we'd signed him on a permanent. I mean, he's had half a season, but do you think he could really push on this season? Is there a player in there that could bang 20 goals?
Oh God, on last season's showing, no chance. I don't know. He might be one of them players that you got nurture again, but as we've said, he come from a league that he'd got good stats in, but these leagues aren't championship. Have they got a master plan for him? Have they seen something in him and he might fire us, you know, up the league next season? I don't know. I was surprised. I'll be honest with you. As soon as I saw that he was in the retain list, I was surprised. I thought he'd have gone back. I mean, what is it? 5 million straight away?
I think we're talking around 4.5, 4.3, something like that.
I know we've run by a gambling company, but that is one hell of it. That is one hell of a gamble, isn't it? That?
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope that we're all eating humble pie next season and he's banging them in. Let's just hope that. I can't see it, but
We didn't have
we'll see.
Yeah, I agree. And Adam, obviously, as I say, going on from that, what's the one position do you think we're crying out for? I mean, there's rumours Sorba Thomas is going to go, so it's looking like that's going to be a position we're going to cry out for. Let's hope, we don't know what's going to happen. He only signed last summer, but I think that's a position for me that I think we're going to cry out for if he does go. I mean, I'm not sure what you think, what we need to do there.
Let's be honest, everywhere other than the defence needs upgrading. We had one of the better defensive records in the league last season, and we've lost Phillips on that. So I'm hopeful that we'll do something for Phillips now that it looks like West Ham could be the club that drops out. I think Phillips has made a lot of noises about how much he loves it here. His family are very active on social media about how much they love Stoke and the club and the area. So I hold some hope that he will sign, and that will do us from a defensive. Other than a right back, I do think we need another right back. But anyone in front of that defence, for me, needs upgrading. Anyone and everyone. I'd have been quite happy to see the retained list coming out and just seeing Wilmot, Johansson and Shamadou on there. If them three were the only three retained and we got rid of everybody else, great. Because they're all capable of individual displays where we think there might be something good there. Juno, I've been hoping for 3 or 4 years now that he's going to be this. He's going to actually grow into the player that we think he might be. It's clearly not going to happen at Stoke now. It's gone on too long, and he tried to get out last year. Couldn't find a club last year, which is why I changed his agents. I think the club looking for big money for him. I think they're hoping there because I don't know who's going to pay big money for Juno. If I'm really honest, Ben Wilmot scored more goals than him in games. His goals to tells you all about him. Manu's the one that we might get a bit of cash on. But yeah, it's going to be a big summer because we need to replace that whole. And look at the forward line. Smith, there's an obligation. We had to pay it, didn't we? We loaned him with an obligation to buy, so we had to pay that money. But Bosnick looks far more capable than Smith does in my eyes. But when you've got Gallagher, Smith, and Bosnick as your three, that's there's not many goals there.
I agree, and I think it is going to be a big summer. And just before we do wrap up, just following on from obviously with the big summer ahead, I don't know if this comes into play next season or this season, the new SCR rules. So the allowance for clubs will be set at 85% of income. Will this be okay for Stoke? Will we be okay with these rules? Will this set the gap miles apart from the Prem?
Well, it might do that, rich owners, and see if we can actually have a summer with a good amount of money and get the right players into us. In 2023, we had the money, we didn't spend it on the right players, and we got shut down. This summer, we need to spend it on the right players if we want to push into those top 8 positions next season. As the playoffs is next season, so gotta get it right. And if we don't get it right, I think we'll be in big trouble next season. Like I said, I think if we get this summer right, I think we're in big trouble next season in relegation. But if we do get it right, we need to definitely push on in 16 because we cannot have another season of another 16th position because I'll just get absolutely fed up with it again.
Paul, I mean, do you agree? Do you think we can, with these rules, are we going to be separate them from the Prem? Are we going to be stuck sitting like rotting lemons in the Championship? What do we do with the rules?
It depends, don't it? It depends on who's in charge of that money. Is it Mark Robbins or is it John Walters? I mean, I was looking at it and I think our revenue this season was 35 million, I think. Obviously, Bet 365 and plowing into that. So 80% of that should
loss off. So it was a bit something like that.
So you look at the money that we could spend plus outgoings and that. If they get it right, we could do okay. I'm not going to say we get the playoffs, but we could do better. If not, we've said it time and time again, we've been circling that drain for far too long and it will catch us up eventually. You can't rely on bang average players and you can't get spending money on players who are not ready for this league, who need a season to nurture into the league. because ultimately you'll go down eventually. I mean, look at Leicester. Who saw that coming? Leicester are a bigger club than us, I'm afraid. In today's thing, they're a bigger club. We're not a big club no more. We never have been a big club. We've always had a bit of pulling power because of the owners, but I will never say we've been a massive club. We've been an overachieving club in the Premier League. So yeah, they've got to spend the money right, use that pulling power, and get the right players in.
Yeah. And just a quick little one. Obviously, we're going into the pre-season. I want to hear everyone mention, where do you think we're going to go for pre-season, or where do you want to go for pre-season? It's just a quick, just stupid one. Where do you want to go for pre-season if you could pick for a Stoke squad to go to watch?
I fancy an Italian away day. So I've been most of the away games last season. I just want to, I don't know, I fancy an Italian away day. I don't know why. Just fancy one of them.
You should know some play. I'm sure you've been some places.
Yeah.
Where do you think we should go for pre-season?
I don't know, like a Torino or somewhere. I don't know, like we won't get a big Italian club, but like I don't know, a lower club, maybe in the Serie A. That would do me.
Can you hear me, Adam?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, go on. Sorry, that other question was directed to Adam. Where do you want to see Stoke going for pre-season?
Well, I fancy a trip to Lake Como myself, and let's go see Cesc Fabregas and have a day trip there. That's not going to happen, is it? Let's be honest. We're probably going to Rill.
Well, go on. I mean, surely you followed Stoke throughout your years, so where do you want to see
my years? I don't know. They've been on the beach for half the season, haven't they? So get them away from the beach and stick them somewhere cold and horrible that nobody's going to go. I don't know. Your dream ones are, you want to go to Spain, don't you? We've got family over in Spain. My missus is from Spain, so if they play Almeria, who are on the verge of promotion, that'd be perfect for us, because we'd go over, visit the in-laws, wouldn't have to pay for an hotel. The stadium's 5 minutes away. That would be very nicely. So if you're watching Super John Walters, redeem yourself. Almeria for pre-season.
Yeah, I'll probably, just on my verdict, I'd probably have to agree with that Adam and George Italian way day. And obviously in the comments, please put in where you think, because the comments are appreciated from us all. And yeah, it was just a quick podcast from us going into the new season, pre-season, but just want to say thank you. We'll be back in August, where hopefully things have changed. John Walters may be gone, may not be. But yeah, we just want to thank you for the support throughout. And we will keep going throughout the next season. So thank you from the Ware Potters Walk team.